DOGE, Department of Government Efficiency, is not unique just to the federal level. Breaking news, great state of Florida. Governor Ron DeSantis has announced Florida State DOGE Task Force, and I'm here to chat about why this is of importance and is not unique to Florida. Currently, DOGE is going through federal agencies, various government contracts, grants, anything and everything in which taxpayer dollars are funding it to see if those different projects should remain. The intent is to cut fraud, waste, and abuse. Governor DeSantis has decided that I wouldn't be surprised if this were to happen at the state level. And this is super important, so please continue watching. There's an actual flyer that the governor shared. He talks in specifics about colleges and universities, state agencies, eliminating bureaucracy, local governments, unused federal dollars. Currently, I hear time and time again, Dr. Parks, Kizzy, isn't it easier to just win a state level contract? Isn't it really hard, especially now, to win a federal contract? And I stand by what I always stand by, and that is what we think happens. If you believe it's more difficult, then it's going to be more difficult. But here's the thing to focus in on. DOGE and what's occurring at the federal level is no different than what's occurring at the state level. I foresee more red states, meaning more Republican-leaning states, are going to do the same thing. Doesn't mean every single governor is going to come out with a flyer like the governor of Florida did, but it does mean the following. If you may say, well, but Kizzy, I'm bidding on a state contract, but it's for a college or university, so you know that's different. And this recently happened. Somebody recently contacted me and said, Kizzy, I am bidding on a college university opportunity. Does your proposal class cover that? My response was, basically, it doesn't matter at the end of the day who the proposal is for, but specifically when it comes to colleges and universities, unless it's private, they receive state level funding and federal funding, and even private schools may still receive some type of funding. So with that in mind, it's really important to do the following. One, if you believe something is easier, it's going to be easier. So if you believe it's going to be easier for you to win at the state level, then bid on state contracts. Just be aware that Ron DeSantis, Governor DeSantis, is not alone in cutting costs. So two, what that means is when you are bidding, you want to be able to explain your cost. If you state a consultant is $200 an hour, why? Is it their education, their experience? Is it because they worked for that particular department? Is it that they have a track record of helping students or leading to some success? Justification, justification, justification. That is the name of this game. The days of just saying, oh, well, it's going to cost $10,000 for the waste management company to pick up the trash for 6 months, they're gone. Why is it going to cost $10,000? Is it because they use a certain type of fuel in their trucks that are energy efficient, or their processes are more efficient, so they only need to pick up once a week instead of twice a week? Is it that they use a certain system to crush the trash? I have no idea. What I do know is that we had a contract with the Coast Guard in which we paid multiple waste management companies, and I'll tell you this, their rates varied. They varied from waste management to trash girl. Their rates are all over the place. So when it comes to especially state and local opportunities, justification, justification, justification is key. Next, you want to make sure you're not just an order taker and an order giver. This isn't, oh, I ordered a number one, here is your number one. No. Instead, it's about how can you really add value to to what they are asking for. So for instance, I recently interviewed 2 young guys, 18 and 20. They won, get this y'all, porta potty contract, 18 and 20 from the great state of Indiana. And the particular contract asked for porta potties, hand washing station. Well, they found out you can get a combo. Listen, I didn't even know this. I've used many porta potties in my life. I really don't think I've come across a porta potty that had necessarily hand washing station. I don't know, maybe once. I did, y'all, go to a porta potty that was like real fancy at the old wharf in Miami. Other than that, I don't know porta potties like that. But they did. They did their research. They reached out to several vendors and found that offering the combo would save money. That's what they offered, and they won. That's what they're looking for at the state and local level. Federal too, that we're thinking, we're adding value. We're not just, oh, well, this is what you want. This is what you get. They want more. Just like us. We want more. You want more. If you want more, type more in the comments, because I know you do. The next thing that's of interest here is specifically for Florida, local governments. It states, our state task force will look into local government expenditures by utilizing publicly available county and municipal spending records to expose bloat, his words, not mine, within local governance. Meaning, if you have a contract that you know in the pit of your stomach, particularly somebody may say, that may be a bloated contract, or a contract that aligns with DEI, maybe it's super environmental oriented, and especially for Republican leaning states, be prepared. Be prepared for that contract to end. Be prepared to, right now, while you're watching this video, to not only like, subscribe, hit the notification button, but to be able to reach out to that client to really emphasize your value. Because when we think about, I can't believe this smoothie costs this amount, or I can't believe this restaurant's charging, I can't believe the parking, I can't believe the cost for the water bottle. We're putting it in terms of what we're willing to pay in relationship to the value of the thing. That's why a lot of people have bottles and then they refill them, whether it's from a water fountain or they may even refill them at the sink in the bathroom. Some of you may say, oh my gosh, Kizzy, that's so gross. Understood, but next time you go to the airport, take a look. A lot of people do that because for them, it's worth saving the money. No different than different states like the great state of Florida. So you want to make sure that even once you get the contract, you have to keep it. And the way that you're able to keep the contract is by continuously demonstrating your value, by engaging with the client. Having those check-ins with them at least monthly, demonstrating, hey, here are the 5 bullets of the things that we accomplish. The whole 5 bullet notion isn't just unique to Elon Musk putting out a message and then OPM, the government agency, sharing the message and asking for government personnel and contractors to provide 5 bullets of their accomplishments. But this is something that's universal, showing outcomes. What is the outcome? Hey, we were able to keep the park clean due to the waste management services. Hey, this training on Excel was able to expedite your bill processing system. Only you and your client will ultimately know what is that impact. Hey, our lawn maintenance contract at the VA cemetery really helped with making sure our vets are honored and respected. It's things of that nature you want to be able to demonstrate. And I have to share, I've been in this space since 2007. We are on a contract in the great state of Florida. And the reason that we keep our contracts for years and years and years is greatly because of this. My team continuously shows the value. And there's a difference. It's not being braggadocious and if it weren't for us, it's not that type of mentality. It's just keep it simple, keep it straightforward, and letting them know, here is what we do for you, and this is the outcome. Situation, action, result. That's the approach. Let's take a look at another area. Colleges and universities. Florida will conduct a deep dive into all facets of college and university operations and spending and make recommendations to the Board of Governors and State Board of Education to eliminate any wasteful spending. Meaning, you have a state university contract in the great state of Florida, or a state that may have similar philosophy as Governor DeSantis. You receive any kind of funding. It could be a grant. It could be partial funding. It doesn't matter. What's important is wasteful spending. You may watch and think, well, what I'm doing is amazing. It's not wasteful. I know what you're doing is amazing, because you wouldn't be watching this channel if you weren't amazing. I know you're amazing. They know you're amazing. If you were to publicize your contract today on a social media platform, anyone you choose, I don't care if it's Pinterest, would other people say, oh my gosh, that's great? Or would they say, we pay what for what? That's how you know. What we perceive, we believe. So you want to make sure, for those of you that have any kind of college, university funded efforts through the great state of Florida, it is not viewed as wasteful. Ask. Feel free to ask your point of contact. Hey, I see this change going on. What is needed so that you see that your dollars are being spent in a value add way? What's needed? Ask them. What do you suggest we do? Because then it's showing that you care. I recently spoke with someone who I know is in DEI. They've been in that space for a very long time, and they mentioned that several of their contracts had been canceled. Well, going back to the Who Moved My Cheese book, we all knew this was coming, and I get it. Sometimes we're in denial. Sometimes we don't want to face it. Sometimes we think, oh, shoot, we're so amazing. Nobody's going to cancel our contracts. It's great to have that belief. I love confidence, but we also want to make sure what people perceive, they believe, and that they perceive and believe what you're offering is amazing, okay? So if you're involved in anything that's DEI, considered wasteful, that somebody may label as bloat or bloated, now is the time to have those tough discussions. Because this isn't the end. DOGE and the concept of saving money, it's not just going to go away tomorrow. I suspect it's not even going to conclude once the Trump administration turns into whatever it turns into. I have personal views on that, but that will be for a completely different kind of video. But here's what I know to be true. Who doesn't want to save money? I really don't know anyone who's like, yes, Kizzy, I want to overpay. You got a pen? Yes, I'll give you $1 million for that pen. I mean, granted, if it's a pen like that has a importance to you, right? For me, if it was a pen that Cardi B used, shoot, I'd pay $1 million for it. I love some Cardi B. But I digress. The bottom line is, as an entrepreneur, inspiring entrepreneur, or maybe you even work for a state or federal government, ebbing and flowing is important. It's the way of the world. It's the universal. So you have to ask yourself, are you willing to get on board with the Department of Government Efficiency at the state and local level or not? That's all you got to ask yourself. If you're ready to ebb and flow, make sure you type below yes in the comments. And I know by you following through with these suggestions, there's no reason you're not going to only keep the work that you have. If you don't have any state and local work, you'll be able to win it, because you are doing what most people won't. Justifying. So don't forget, y'all, winnerswaybook.com. I have a challenge coming out, close contracts for cash. So look for more information on that. We should have a link below. Please make sure you like, subscribe, hit that notification button. And don't forget, everything is possible. Take care until next time.